Hi, welcome back to my channel. It is Taylor Bridges here with another review. Today I'm reviewing Love and Marriage DC Season 2, Episode 2. Winter is about to irritate the heck out of these women. And I'm kind of here for the entertainment. And don't Jamie and Arena do TikToks? I'd love to see like that side of Jamie this season. Like, you got to be a little bit, you got to have like a little bit of a silly side, don't you, to do kind of those TikToks that they do, those dramatic acting TikToks. I hope he shows that side eventually. We start the episode where we last left off. The Jamies are going at it. Little Jamie has ran into the hallway. He's crouched down, being consoled by production, and he keeps crying to his dad, "This isn't even you. This isn't even you." And then, so I'm curious what side he's used to getting from Jamie, because I'm actually thinking like Jamie has been acting pretty calm so far. So I'm just curious. Both men need healing and a lot of therapy. Essentially, they've built a monster. Essentially, Big Jamie has built a monster, and I know this sort of thing all too well. Some people can rise above their environments and, the flawed parenting they've received, right? And they can excel. And then some people can't. Little Jamie doesn't seem to have the mental and emotional stability and maturity to navigate better for himself right now in life. And though his parents have a huge effect and impact on why he is the way he is today, at some point you do have to be responsible for your own actions. At some point. Like, yes, like at some point the blame shifts, especially once you're aware of it. It's then your responsibility to go get the help that you need to be able to navigate that trauma that you've received from your parents. So they're maintaining a very toxic cycle that can potentially be passed on for generations and generations. And this is all going to happen if they don't decide to do the work, which is therapy. I put the brunt of the accountability on Jamie because he's the adult. Little Jamie is my age, but mentally and emotionally, he's probably like 19 years old. And he's a little boy. Not meaning like that disrespectfully, but like, even the way Arena mothers him is still like it's like he's some in the hallway scene, like he's some rambunctious high schooler. He's mentally and emotionally like a 19-year-old. Like he just acts out. Like that's just how he expresses his emotion. And this type of emotional episode that's happening right now with this family probably occurs often. When the slightest disagreement occurs, they're like on eggshells with each other. It's like walking through a Minecraft. Any moments somebody can be set off. You just never know. And they just need to rebuild trust with one another. Then they need to rebuild communication. Then they need to improve their conflict resolution. Like they're going to have to put in that work. But it's like a ticking time bomb. Like both of them. They're both just on edge with each other. So it's like the moment they have a disagreement, it's like every disagreement is made bigger because it's not even really as much about the thing at hand than it is about just the overall energy they have with each other every time they disagree. It's because they're not like thoroughly addressing issues. And so then when you only halfway address something, like the minute like that, like it's re-triggered, it's like you start from square one all over again, as opposed to really addressing like the root. So, because this was like, it really just didn't seem to need to be this bad, Sadly, this dynamic between the black father and the son is common, and they just need to see they're on the same team. They're not enemies. Like, how much of a blessing is it to have a black father and a black mother in the household with their children? And that does not mean that just like little Jamie should just be down to his knees, just grateful if he's going to have parents that aren't going to do the work that they need to do to be the best parents that they can be for him. I'm not saying that, but both parties should be very grateful. Big Jamie should be grateful that he's in his son's life, and vice versa. Like, they're on the same team. They're thinking they're enemies and they're really not. And this dynamic is common, but you know, as flawed as both men are, we all are. I do see redeeming charismatic traits in both of the men, as it relates to their relationship with each other. It's like a little boy wants his dad, and a dad wants a relationship with his son, but they both want specific relationships. They both have specific relationships painted in their mind, and that's what they want executed. I think Big Jamie doesn't see his son how he is, in a way. I think Big Jamie sees his son with a load of expectations on his image. And I think that's frustrating for Lil Jamie. I think Lil Jamie just wants to be seen for really how he is. Like, first I need you to see me for who I am. And then, like, I think Jamie would be better equipped and knowledgeable as to how to guide Lil Jamie. Like, Lil Jamie is not going to end up like you. He's not like some, you know, militant, tough workforce for 25 years. That's just not his steez. You're not seeing him. You're getting frustrated with him at times. I'm not saying with this situation, but like at times, because we've seen it in the past season. I think a lot of his frustration is built on the expectation he has, and on Lil Jamie, and I think the same is for Lil Jamie with Big Jamie. So, I am rooting for them. I don't want to keep seeing these beautiful black men like this on my TV, you know. But I know it's real life, and I do want a real life resolution for them. Not just like a resolution we see on the reunion or whatnot, like a real life effort when all the cameras are away to just really tie their family in together. There's still time, you know, it's still a good time to get this done. Like, they can do it. Also, Jamie was saying to his mom, like, Ma, you know, I've been changing. And I'm like, let me tell you something. I felt that. People see change sometimes as just like a one-day occurrence. I see it as a gradual thing. 5 steps forward and 2 steps backwards is still progress. Because with the minus and with the backwards and forwards, there was still 3 whole steps forward. And if you support somebody's journey, you can't bring them down and discount the 3 steps just because they took 2 steps back. The 3 steps forward just because they took the 2 steps back. Every piece of progress counts. And that should be applauded. It's like we do it for toddlers, and sometimes us as adults, we need that too, especially like, okay, it's easy for maybe an outsider to judge if you don't have necessarily an issue with your temper. If you haven't been in somebody like Lil Jamie's shoes, we don't know why he chose to take the path he took, and we could criticize it all day, but we don't know what all that occurred. Mind you, these people have been on our screen for 2 years. This man has had a whole life. They have all had whole lives before us. So it's easy for us to criticize, you know, all these things, how angry he is and all this, but like that might not be your temperament. But for somebody that experiences that in excess, they have to have a different set of standards placed upon them. It just is what it is. You might have a relationship. You might not drink when you go out, so you don't have to worry about get drunk, but not necessarily judging the person who does enjoy drinking and may take it a little too far. You know, you can't judge people who are just like on an extreme set of emotions. I don't think it's right to judge, because unless it's accompanied by at least some sort of empathy. Because yeah, it's easy for you to judge the person getting drunk on a bar. You don't drink at all. Like, you're on the whole opposite end of that scale. Of course, you're going to think that that's crazy behavior. And I don't think that's fair when you're on the opposite extreme. But I do understand if he has made any sort of steps forward. I don't see any from what I've seen on this episode and the previous episode. But if I understood when he's like, I'm changing. Maybe it was in regards to the way he's trying to handle his dad with arguments. Maybe usually when they argue, it always gets, loud and over the top. And maybe he's like, Mom, he's coming at me. I've been trying to keep it cool when I argue with him, but he always want to start it. I don't know. But that statement alone, I've been changing. I definitely resonated with that. So I am rooting for you, Lil Jamie, to really navigate your emotions and your temper way better. All in all, the fight is bigger than what's right in front of us. You know what I mean? Because Jamie's absolutely correct. Get a job, take care of yourself. You're mid late 20s. It is what it is. And stop getting an attitude and talking to me crazy when I don't give your grown your way. Period. That's that. Like, I'm like, this fight for what? It's like, it's clear as day that this is something bigger than just this. Y'all have been waiting to get y'all's emotions and aggression out. But that's what's going to happen if y'all are not going to get to the root and address what these real issues are. And furthermore, they're acting a fool at this man's party. At Jason's party. Like, the fact that both men aren't able to control themselves is like extremely embarrassing for somebody that you love. Like, if I were Raina, I would have both men go grab a switch. And they would be put in timeout. Like the toddlers, like the elementary schoolers, they are behaving like. Like, y'all could have both could have restrained all of that aggression and emotion at this man's going away party, a happy event. Like, if it's my event, it needs to be all about me from start to finish. I'm not joking. Like, you would get kicked out. I don't care who you are. Immediately. No. Take that elsewhere. Get your camera crew. Get out. It needs to be about me. That was super rude, super immature, all in all. Quick walks over to try to help. Another one who doesn't have the tools, who has a wife who mothers the entire household, including himself. The way Quick just talked all this ish about Lil Jamie last episode, I don't think this is going to end up that well with you trying to step in and all of a sudden play mature and, be the mediator. You make sure you can go father and master the fathering skill of your spoiled 14-year-old before you try to step into the big leagues and tell, what the 26-year-old entitled child does, because you barely can manage your 14-year-old. You can't even wrap your head around your 14-year-old not being man enough to set his own alarm for school. And like I mentioned last video, I totally believe a 14-year-old can wake him or herself up for school. They be on the phone for everything else. However, if they need a little nudge, I don't see the problem with it. Heck, us adults, sometimes we have overslept and pressed the snooze button. So don't equate that to he needs to man up and all of that Quick. But I do agree that he can. I'm like in the middle with it. I don't think Quick's approach is healthy, but I think the overall sentiment, which is, I think the sentiment as it relates to the 14-year-old being responsible and just kind of getting started on that responsibility, especially in high school, I think is appropriate. Anyways, I think you're barking up the wrong road trying to do both sides. You can't be talking ish about this child, well, this man's son, and then you now trying to step in and be uncle. Like, at least not on national TV. I don't think so. But also, Lil Jamie is just, Quick wasn't wrong. As a man, you cannot get mad at what another man won't do for you. That's it. Lil Jamie is just one of those people you cannot tell anything to. You have to let them bump their head and figure it out on their own, because you'll go crazy trying to constantly help them and put them on the right track. They have to want it for themselves. I really do feel for him. He's only gonna accept the help if it's the way he wants it. That's it. Like, he's one of those people you're going to go crazy. I'm saying you're going to go crazy trying to help him. He's going to accept the help. The moment you tell him no, or the moment you give an alternative, or the moment you don't do it the way he wants, That little episode, all those text messages and all that. That's what. I am so glad this scene ended. I was so happy. Like, whew, it was very triggering and relatable. Like, I was constantly like really just like tuned in and like taking notes on this scene, but I'm glad it's over, you know. I think therapy is a great start for them, individual and familial, like, for sure. Oh, I'm glad that's over. Winter. I am so glad she's back. She's finally divorced. Selfishly, I'm a bit upset about it because I did want to see Kevin at least one more scene. He was such a clown, and we all laugh at a clown, you know. We love a good laugh from a clown. I am happy she can move on with her life now, and that she has decided to grow her hair back out. She looks like she could be one of the Mary sisters. Does anybody else get that? She released that Sign My Papers song. So singing is going to be her storyline. I'm tired of that from these cast members. It's now like cringeworthy. You know, last season her job was the relationship expert. And I'm like, I would rather see more of that. That's so much more interesting than doing this like cliche singing with this raggedy studio session. Like, it's so much better. Like, I like the real jobs. Not that singing is not a real job, but come on, that's not like your 9 to 5. Like, come on, give us what you do. Like, that's so much more interesting. So apparently Winter has made friends with the gentleman who's like producing her music, his wife, Sharella. So I'm guessing this is like her introduction into the show. And I'm not liking her confessional look. I'm like, the hair, the outfit, the lips, it's all a no for me. It's too much going on. But we'll see what the other confessional looks and the rest of the season's looks give. It could just be one bad look. Willing to chalk it up to that, fine. She's a pretty woman, nice figure. And finally, there's someone who'll film with Winter. So far, Sharella is going to tell Ashley that Winter made this gutter Barbie song about her, and so she's playing the straddle the fence thing, and I'm like, okay, just hope you're able to hold both parties accountable and not just Winter, because Winter did not wake up on a random Tuesday swinging. Okay, they tried her last season, and when she responded, she was the bad guy. I'm not going for that. So you straddling the fence right now, but I'm gonna need you to have some accountability for both parties. Like, we're not gonna do that. Pardon me. Ashley's promoting her book. I think it's cool to write a book and publish it. Like, that doesn't seem, I know people do it, but like, I think that is a really cool accomplishment. The host brings up Monique, and Ashley needs to already, at all of the cast, they need to already have had like a written response, you know, ready to shut the whole subject down every time Monique and her family was brought up. But I'm glad she didn't engage further. It was not worth it or helpful to her cause. Like she said, Monique ain't write none of that book. Okay, we're at Raina and Jamie's house. He fell down the stairs, and I'm like, that could have happened to anyone. Those slides will do it to you. Okay. I'm just not a fan how Raina has handled the situation with both the Jamies. I'm not a fan. But I do have a lot to say about it. Like, I want to comment a lot, but I'm like, I am so passionate and opinionated about like matters like these that I think it's best to keep my thoughts to myself, because I never want like my opinion to just like blatantly disrespect somebody as a person. Like, I'm criticizing what I see on TV, fine, but I'm like I fully realize that I don't like know these people at all in real life. Like, they could be that's why I mention all the time like how people can just be super cool in real life. Like, that's totally, like, I would never see these people in real life and like despise them or hate them. I don't know them. I'm just commenting on what I see, and I can't let what I've seen, I can't let my assumptions from what I've seen from their family for 2 years on my TV and some edited clips cause me to criticize Raina's motherhood. And I'm not even a mother. I'm only a child. I've only been like a child of parents. I've never been somebody's parent. So, but I do have a lot of thoughts on it. But I'm going to definitely be respectful. I'm not going to disrespect that woman. Ashley is just a beautiful woman. She's drop dead gorgeous. Despite how I feel about her attitude sometimes, I do think she's a total package and represents Black wives and mothers very well, especially with her having her own entrepreneurial endeavors. She definitely should be getting more help from Quick. Absolutely. I do think she's doing too much. I don't think like she should be expected to carry that load. Just because she's good at it doesn't mean she should be like that. It's healthy for her. But I will say she is doing an excellent job as a Black woman and what she represents. And I love her scenes really just by herself. Like, I just don't really like her that much with the whole group, but I like her by herself. I'm definitely glad she chose to push forward and speak about, her childhood experiences, despite her mom having a different recollection and, not wanting to be held accountable and face reality. It would have been easier for her mom to leave this in the past, but her running from the truth of what happened to her daughter under her watch will only create a ghost, and that ghost is going to just haunt you for the rest of your life. Own up to it so y'all can heal the wound already. Like, own up to it already. Like, stop. That's what happens. I don't know about other cultures, so I'm just going to say I know it happens in the Black community. I don't know about other communities and cultures, but it happens often. It's like the parents want you to just forget about it, forget about their mess ups. And it's like, it's okay to be like, yo, I was going through trauma too, and I didn't have the tools, and I messed up, and I apologize, and I want to heal that. I should have listened to you, and I am sorry for that. And this, and giving context and giving understanding. Like, I just think that's like, come with it. Come on, y'all. We got to do better. We got to do better than that. Joy goes over to Arena's place, and she says they've been hitting it off. But I'm like, what? Arena does actually seem like an easy person to get along with. She comes off like a super nice woman in real life. So I'm not surprised that Joy hits it off with Arena. Arena's Switzerland. Arena asks how Joy felt about Ashley's single mom's comment, and Joy says she felt double teamed and that Clifton caught Ashley like rolling her eyes. And I'm like, that's that stuff I'm talking about, Ashley. That mean girl behavior. Like, stop being mean about everything. Like, that's super rude to be rolling your eyes at your friends, like, while your friend's speaking on an opportunity that she's excited about. Like, regardless of how you feel about it, like, that's your friend, right? Even if you had a little shade to say about it, like, you couldn't just you and your friend couldn't say that in the car ride home. Like, you just had to get that out in that moment, like, for real. Like, you just had to express how you felt about her opportunity with rolling your eyes in an attitude. That's like, you thinking you keeping it real. Like, no, you rude. You're being rude. I didn't like that. That's why I'm glad Clifton spoke up. Like, I'm glad he clocked it, because I would have clocked it and called it out. Like, that wouldn't be cool with me. Not happening. Joy says she's going to let it slide this time, but next time it'll be addressed, and I'm glad. Like, for real. Like, Ashley needs to be addressed if you're going to keep doing that. Like, Ashley keeps poking and doing that because she hasn't met somebody to give her that energy back. So she keeps playing with people she knows she can play with. Like, Winter is light work, to be honest. So is Arena. That's why she can pull that we're friends, but now with a D. Yeah, you can give those shady confessional comments to somebody you're supposed to be friends with, like an Arena, because Arena's not going to give you that energy. Winter is light work. Like, you're beefing with Winter. But yeah, we'll see how you fare when you're beefing with Joy. Somebody who's not, you're not bullying her, you're not intimidating her. Because I feel like that's what Ashley tries to do. Like, she just give mean girl, like, sometimes. Like, that was super, like, unnecessary. So I think Ashley's pink party, though, is a cute concept. I knew a lot of people would be tacky. I wish it was a little more glam focused, but the tackiness is real at the party. But they're having a good time. It's not really that deep, so I'm not gonna go too in. All in all, the women did look cute, and I'm glad everybody, like, I'm glad Ashley was having that kind of event, you know, for those, I think it's for the mothers to enjoy themselves and have a good time. So it is what it is. It was cute. Arena came as a gutter Barbie, and I thought that was fly. I loved it. She looked so good. I loved the gutter Barbie twins idea. I thought that was super fun, and they both looked really cute with their matching boots. I thought that was cute. I thought the vagina hat was cute. Joy looked cute in her outfit, but I was just confused. I don't know what the costume or the outfit was or what she was portraying. I don't know what exactly was going on, but she looks good in it. I wasn't a fan of the wig, but it's a costume party. So I guess you wouldn't go get a 30-inch bust down lace front pink for a party. You gonna go get your little Party City little $10 for the little costume. Probably the wig, you know what, the wig probably came in the bag. So I'm not even gonna get on your wig, Joy. I take it back. Your wig wasn't the problem. I still don't know what the theme of your outfit was. Sherelle's fit is cute too. It is a bit over top, but if you look to the left and the right, that's the theme here. Sherelle and Joy don't vibe. Joy was in a band with Sherelle's husband, and it didn't work out. So Joy says she pretty much carries the same hate in her heart for him and anyone who's an extension of him. And fine. I don't know, like, I don't see unless they've already had previous encounters, which I'm guessing at this point, I'm sure they have, obviously, Doug Taylor. But, like, why couldn't y'all have kept it cordial? Like, if you don't technically have a beef with each other, it's this man in the middle. And obviously, like, that's Sherella's husband. Like, so, of course, she doesn't have to like Joy, and Joy doesn't have to like Sherella. Sherella's husband messed with Joy's back. I get it, but I'm just like, I don't know why it could be cordial. But I definitely understand. I wouldn't be on some kumbaya trying to make them talk. I would maybe be like, I don't know why y'all can be cordial, but I totally understand why they don't vibe with each other. But also, but with Joy's past experience on my TV screen, she is not the most credible person describing the type of beef she's in, because she has too much energy for Nakia on Ready to Love, and she was dead wrong and saw no issue with her behavior, which was childish. So I'm not taking Joy's side of the truth on why they're not cool as the truth just yet. Because Joy too can be on her mean girl bully, which is why her and Ashley has met her match. Sherella is telling Ashley about the Gutter Barbie song. She did tell Winter she was going to say something about it. Cool. I mean, you're really not doing much. It was going to come on it was going to show anyway, but fine. Sherella's husband is the one writing the song for Winter, but she's saying it's not a diss track. And I'm confused how a Gutter Barbie song isn't a diss track. Gutter Barbie doesn't belong in the spiritual realm. I don't see would Monica write a Gutter Barbie song? Because she's R&B. They call her Gunica. Like, that's as far as I can see as like somebody in R&B doing it. Like, I don't see, and if it was rap, then it's absolutely a diss track. So I'm just confused. Ashley doesn't want to make amends with Winter. I'm cool with that. So, and I feel like that's fine. So then they need, if either production has to make it a requirement for them to make amends, or be okay with them not making amends and stop trying to we're not doing this whole season over them having a conversation. People do not have to like each other. People do not have to get along and be friends. So Arena accuses Sherella of playing both sides, and I definitely agree. Sherella had all this pushback for Winter when she was venting, but none of it for Ashley. And essentially, you just want to be in the middle of the mess. You want to know the tea, but you're really not trying to help both parties understand each other. And I feel like playing that role always come back to bite. You don't have to pick a side if that's what you don't want. But if you're gonna be in the middle, and these are both you're friends with one, you're trying to build a friendship with another, you don't have anything constructive to add in this disagreement other than the she say. Winter's doing a diss track. Winter's doing it, like, Winter said this, Winter said that. Like, you don't have anything else to add. And, like, you're acting, she acted like she was trying to mediate, but she's really not. That's why I have the smoke for her in this situation. If she was just like, I'm being messy, like, I'm about to go tell her what you said, like, or in her, you know, just what she was doing was being honest about her being messy, that's one thing. But you're trying to come off as if you're really trying to help them resolve conflict, and you're not. You're not doing that. So it looked a little fake to me. Stay out of it, like Ashley said. You're not helping. She said a bunch of nothing when talking about friendships. Girl. But I do agree with Sherella challenging Winter regarding the receipts. That coy talk around all these receipts and stuff, that type of stuff will get you beat up. You're playing with people's families. You know what I mean? So put it out there if you're going to bring it up. But playing on it, like, don't just hint at it and leave all this mystery and all this left up for interpretation. Unless you're lying. Like, that kind of stuff will get you beat up, for real. Like, stop doing that. Like, the ladies are going to be upset with you regardless. You might as well prove yourself honest by just putting it out there. Otherwise, I'm going to come, like, by the end of the season, if Winter hasn't shown a receipt, I'm going to be like, she's a liar. She lied. And you lied on their family. Like, I'm not rocking with you the whole season playing stupid. Like, you have some info on, you know, in your iPhone. Or say you were lying and that you were talking ish because you were upset and you felt attacked. And then apologize and have a conversation from there. I can respect somebody coming correct after they stepped to me wrong. Because that takes courage and that takes maturity. Like, you really have to put your ego and pride aside to come hella wrong and to circle the block and come correct as an adult. Do that if that's what you did. If you lied, say that. But, by the way, I don't think Winter is lying. I really don't. I believe both of Irena, I think Big Jamie and Quick could have been out there. But I don't know if Winter has viable proof outside of it just being word on the street and people around town knowing what's going on. Like like Juan Dixon in Georgetown holding hands with another woman. Like, yeah, that the DMV area, yeah, I'm sure Talk's doing that, but what about us? Like, we don't live there. So we're not around town to hear the word on the street. So we gonna need some cold hard facts or zip it. So Ashley says she doesn't care about Sherella being friends with Winter, but I don't believe her. And I wouldn't blame her if I were in Ashley's shoes. You don't, you know, look, I know I say this all the time, but every time for me, it's not about being wrong or right. Sometimes I genuinely can just understand where someone is coming from based on their perspective and stance. Period. Like, Ashley is bossy, attitudinal, sometimes mean girly. She's outspoken, and she does not like Winter. I can understand her not wanting her already established friend to befriend a complete stranger that she happens to despise. That makes sense to me. That makes sense. So I don't think you have to fake not caring, because you do. Winter and Irena are linking up. In Winter's defense, it does seem like she's been trying to make amends with the ladies ever since she, you know, ish hit the fan. And I can respect that. I think Winter has been responding carelessly because she believes in what she's saying. I think she believes what she's saying, and she wants to give the audience a moment. But I think she's expecting them all to bounce back from it and be cool. I think she thinks she can go on Carlos King and go on YouTubers, get interviewed by YouTubers, and, you know, give us a moment by giving us all the tea and speaking on them like that. And she thinks that they're gonna interpret it as like fun shade and that we can bounce back, and it's not gonna work like that. But they did the same thing to her. That's how it started. Them throwing fun shade and just really trying her. So, and also let me say this. You cannot tell me what to not talk about if you come for me. If you come for me, I'm hitting where it hurts. If you don't like that, you reevaluate how you come for me. Like, you don't get to dictate. You can't slap me and get mad that I punch you. No, it ain't fair. No, that's not your call. Because you don't know how your slap affected me. It was a slap to you. It could have felt like a punch to me, and so that's what I'm giving back. Like, they poked at Winter, and you mad she stabbed? Too bad. Don't go poking. Like, yeah, one can say, oh, that's her marriage, that's her marriage. Okay, they came at her career. What kind of relationship expert are you? They came at her career. And since she, at the time, was trying to go divorce her husband, the husband wasn't that up there for her. But maybe that career was up there for her. Just like for y'all, husband is up there. So don't go talking on what someone else holds close to their heart. If you don't want them, touch it at yours. That's how I see it. DMs about Jason though? That's what Winter says she got? Heck no. They weren't even good so far from what I heard. They were just super ignorant. And I'm like, that's just I don't know, Winter. They better be given. Because so far I'm like, girl, you could have kept that in the vault. Like, we don't need to put that kind of mean energy on Front Street. Like, I'm sure it's nothing that they haven't seen or read before. Like, and if that's all you got, then you grasping at straws, and I'm gonna know you really lying. So we're gonna see. Next episode looks good too. They're bringing it thus far. There are just so many elements in one episode going on, and I can really appreciate that. So, and the show has been arousing just some really good conversations and just have provoked some really interesting thoughts, that I think reality TV is supposed to do. And even when it has gotten like dark, like with Jamie, going at it, and even later in the season, we'll see, like Ashley versus everybody on her UFC, at the end of the day, this is like real life. And no matter what, I am not taking away from the fact that these are some beautiful, Black, successful families doing their thing, businesses, homes, lifestyle, and they are willing to put themselves out here. They are no different than any of us. It's just that they are crazy enough to let somebody film them do it. So we always want to keep that in mind. But so far, the season has been really good. So I'm excited for what the next episode is bringing. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you'll be so kind to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, I really appreciate it. I have like 10 subscribers right now. I am so excited about that. Like, I'm going to keep being consistent, keep giving my thoughts. I'm going to improve processes. I'm always about improvement. I'm going to keep getting better and getting better at this. So thank you so much for giving me your time. I really do appreciate it. All right, bye.